let's get some housekeeping out of the way. So the specs of the 1918 Pilot has a case size of 40 millimeters, case thickness of 10 millimeters, lug to lug of 48 millimeters, a welcome lug width of 20 millimeters. It has a Crazy Horse bund strap. The crystal is a double dome sapphire with inner AR coating. The movement is the Miyota 8N33 hand wound moving. It unfortunately has non-hacking and 40 hours power reserve. The loom is BGW9 loom, and the price would be under 400 USD. Small history lesson before we begin. The Vario 1918 Pilot pays homage to the pilot Captain Ross McPherson Smith, who made a journey from England to Australia and finally touched down in Singapore, making it the first flight to land in the Lion City. Captain McPherson likely wore a tilted dial pilot watch during the flight, hence the inspiration of this model. So how does it wear? So for me, I'm a little biased since getting a taste of the 1918 trench watch. I was converted by these bund straps, and I reckon this wears really good. Slightly larger than the traditional trench piece, but this new size is more period correct to the aviation aesthetic. So when it comes to the features of the 1918 Pilot, it doesn't have too much to offer, but don't let that fool you. There's still one incredible piece. The crown is swapped out from a screw down crown to a more easier to use pull out crown, and the winding action is sensational. I mean, just listen to this. The crown is signed with Vario's logo, and as mentioned before, the watch features an exhibition case back to view that beautiful hand-wound Miyota beast inside. The minimal nature of the dial is again appreciated in such a model, as the Pilot watches are usually tools relied on for their legibility and ease of use, and Vario did a great job here with that simple text logo and the nice railroad minute track on the edge of the dial, complemented with those cathedral hands. The strap is some classic Vario bund strap that I've now become a fan of. Great quality and materials used. Nice signed buckle over here, and the stamped logo on the rear, which is a nice touch. As mentioned with legibility, this watch stands out. Even the white color variant here, the choice of the black outlines around the numerals and hands make telling the time a breeze, and I'm glad they went with the black outlines, since some brands lean towards the silver choice, which seems to make nice use of light play, but in most cases it sort of drowns out the dial if it's an all-white dial, and I feel it would have been a miss if they went with the silver, so I'm really glad they chose the black outline. Now the loom. I mean, Vario, I feel, can't miss when it comes to this department. All their timepieces I've had the pleasure of reviewing, all have had stellar loom, and this is no exception. The BGW9 is a great choice and just nailed the more vintage look that the watch is going for. Alright, pros and cons, final thoughts. It's hard to say any negatives about the watch, but I have to recognize some cons. While I like the minimal dial, I feel it does lack a bit of excitement or extra interest. I feel Vario could have still made it minimal, but possibly made the numerals a sandwich style or created some depth with a minute track somehow. I know some of you are not going to be happy with the crown not being screwed down and the movement not having hacking. Both valid points, but I feel I need to defend this a little. If you are a pilot and you're concerned about water resistance, you got bigger problems to worry about than your watch being destroyed. Let's be real. Hacking makes more sense, and as I'm sure if you are defending the whole aviation watch, then timing missions would have been a priority. However, this watch is based off World War I, and hacking only really started becoming a thing after World War II, so technically this is another pass, sort of. The lugs and the bund strap again isn't for everyone, but I feel this watch isn't for everyone anyway. It's more for someone who appreciates a timepiece that embraces the history that it's based off. A timepiece that's unique, but also has that cool factor that makes you stand out from the sea of other pilot watches out there. I think Vario nailed it again this time. High legibility with the cool World War I case shape, incredible finishing, and build with an even cooler movement inside. It's not perfect with its minimal dial for some, but I feel that's something easily overlooked when the watch looks and feels as good as it is.